Let's do it. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. He's going to rifle one deep. And got his man complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It'll be a loss of 13 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
It's hard to stay mad at a player who fights for yardage, even if it's not successful. But on this play, I'm just looking at what the defense did. We always talk about gang tackling and getting more people to the football. How about the job they did there, the discipline they had? No matter how hard he fought, more and more people showed up and helped create that big loss of yardage there. That's the kind of play that the defense gets excited about.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Newton now to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And Cam Newton's not coming off the field. He'll keep the offense out to go for it on 4th. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. Looking here for Smith downfield. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the corner, Tremaine Brock. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he'll be taken down inside Carolina's 15. A huge play there for Denver. 41 yards.
The well-executed slant routes are based on timing, and that one was hit just right. Ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, right to the receiver. He catches it on the run, and you saw the end result. Big-time run after catch. They love those rack yards.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. Now it's Barner. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because...
That's caught at the 25. Oh, some strip touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 74 yards. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record. And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there'll be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on. But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. They shakes him off. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
That's taken on the 25. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Newton throwing again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
Now it's Keenum. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Sutton. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jake Butt, the tight end, his intended receiver. 3rd down here.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
He completes this to Sutton. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And McManus able to put it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And he is just 1 reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 66 yards. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record. 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes. Someone delivering it accurately. Offensive line giving them time to throw the ball. A true team record. But he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. Keenum now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Keenum. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. He looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. Complete outright to Jake Butt. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw is Keenum. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective third down play to move the chains. He'll get it up the middle. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Luke Kuechly in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour? And now here's another interception. Picked off by Mike Adams. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not all.
He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line.
36 yards. 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 36 yards
A big play there for Carolina. 61 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
He'll get it up the middle. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it, and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going, and also you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 91 yards. And the Broncos cut into that lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that will get him one closer. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
As his guys are in for 6, and the Panthers are able to grow their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding a big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Gano for the extra point. Extra point try good by Gano. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So the Broncos coming out now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, Keenum. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. Time for a break. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to about the 22 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Keenum. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Keenum going to throw. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Keenum. Drops it underneath for Booker. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And this is going to be incomplete. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And McManus able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. In the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win.
That's caught at the 25. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Gano now to add the extra point. Gano the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Working from the gun, Keenum. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing here, Newton. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows it.